All right, your boy is back. All right, man. So this damn Diddy case or whatever, okay, is one of the things. Maybe I'm talking about it because maybe I believe that I'm good at it. Okay, while you got all this other stuff going on, you need to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, to these current events. Well, they got a storm from east coast to coast going on right now. They got sleet up there in the northeast, rain in the south or whatever, and they got snow in the Midwest. Okay, they got that going on. Trump cabinet is receiving, BOMB threats. You know what I'm saying? And just barely getting things set up. All right. He's appointing his people. Well, we got the ceasefire over there in the Middle East, probably lasts for what? Maybe 6 months. Okay. And you got these astronauts over here communicating. I wonder what are they doing up there. I'd say the astronauts, what they communicating with aliens. All right. I'm trying to see where this guy's going here. Give me a second there, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Because I'm in the middle of work and I got a job I got to do. I have to transport people from this parking lot here to like the airport, like terminals and all that. I'm working over here at the Harry Reid Airport. Can't tell you the company I'm working for. But anyway, okay. So this Diddy case, I've been trying to figure out how I want to talk about this, and I may want to make another sequel to this video here, okay? Because the most significant, moral to this story is, I think people don't realize how serious these court cases are, particularly if you got the FBI involved, okay? I think during these Diddy trials, about what I'm about, based on what I'm about to talk about, I think all the crime is not reported, and then they report the crime, okay? The ones that is reported to the police, they say that over half of them were not even pushed through, or they were like swept under the rug because the cops done got paid off, okay? Or they weren't processed. But when you look at these federal courts cases, you have many of these court cases or whatever that are up, okay, for review, and many of them don't even get looked at, and they probably end up getting busted down to your state or local level, particularly if you're dealing with the Supreme Court. There's only 5, maybe 10%, maybe, of the cases that are going to end up being heard, because they just don't have the time to hear all these cases, okay? And then I think that with this Diddy case here, with many of these witnesses, yes, their information is critical. Their information is edifying and so forth. But I think that some of these witnesses are looking or trying to pad up their complaints or whatever, okay, just to get a bag, okay? Or because they want to take this guy down, Sean Combs, P. Diddy down, when they have more than enough information anyway. When I say they, it's the FBI. Okay? So, but for the most part, they had an exhibit of Jane Doe. Now, you probably, if you've been keeping up with this case, know about Adria English. She was a dancer from LA that came out there to New York to do dance parties with her boyfriend or whatever, okay? And she did her thing with many of the celebrities and all that, okay? Whatever, okay? And went and told her story about this Jane Doe girl that was taken advantage of Okay, the girl in the D&G shirt that was sitting with Diddy. All right, that she went and explained her case, and she was manipulated, that she laid down, and they was eating fruit off of her body and all that good stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say good stuff, but when I say good stuff, but I'm saying this information, and as far as the information, all right, my apologies for saying that, because particularly if she was under extreme duress, that's not good, okay, and so forth. I'll say more politically correct, and that the girl, but the only problem I had was there's conflicting reports with Adria English about this woman's age, okay, and if you let these people keep talking, getting on these podcast shows, okay, talking, then they're going to end up talking end up digging themselves a hole, okay? And I think that's what a lot of these podcasters, in these podcasting shows, a lot of these witnesses are doing, because they're looking at, and it's good, they probably make money and all that, but it's kind of like they're using this case, and some are probably making a mockery or maybe exaggerating on this to try to build a brand. And I tell you though, okay, it's not right. It's really not. All right, not to try to discount anything from Diddy, but let me explain, okay, in further detail. Now, there was a complaint made on what I'm talking about, where I've listened to a podcast, so I'm not going to say his name, but a complaint, because you thought it was more recent, and so did Tony Busby, the lawyer that's working on all these cases, that the complaint was made, but actually this complaint was made about a year ago, December 6, 2023, about all of what I'm telling you, okay? Not from Adria English, but from the woman, Jane Doe, the woman I was saying that was victimized, okay? And the woman was from Canada, all right? Now, there was another woman that came forward and said that she was the victim. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm going there. Yeah. Okay, go and do what you got to do. I'll be here. Okay. I'm going to go on and finish this up, and I'm probably going to have to do a part 2. But come to find out, there was another woman came forward that wasn't even the woman, and claimed that she is from Texas. And I think a lot of people didn't know that. But you got some of these podcasters are very, very smart, and that's been keeping up with with this case and all that. I don't know where they got that information from. For example, like Hassan Campbell, when I listened to the podcast, okay, that when he was talking about where the numbers didn't add up right, okay. I don't want nobody to hear what I was saying. Okay, where this woman, after Adria English has said her story, the woman said that she went to school with SZA. Well, SZA is 34 years old. It's kind of like when you put the math together, it's not right, because she claims that this happened when she was 11 years old. Okay? Again, SZA, she's 34. If the case, and I even said on an earlier podcast about this woman, Adria English, happened in 2009, then that means 15 years ago, then SZA was 19 years old. So if they went to school with SZA, then they're pretty much the same age, maybe 18 or 17. Now in New York, the age of consent is 17. Okay, which goes to show that this was a grown woman. The woman that was sitting on Diddy's lap with that D&G shirt, and that woman that was laying on that table was a grown woman. And then all of a sudden, when this information came out, then not only that this wasn't the woman that just came forward, okay, that actually, that was that woman in those pictures, but that was a grown woman. Okay, maybe 17 at the youngest. Okay, which goes to show that people are lying. You know what I'm saying? That to get a bag, and that's what I'm saying. That's why what I'm saying is people need to keep on talking, getting on these podcasts, saying these stories, go around saying this and that or whatever. And I think the FBI, when it comes to this case they're gonna have, okay, they get these people on the podium and they need to be asked tough questions, okay, and challenging questions or whatever, be cross-examined so people can find out who's who and who's involved and who wasn't, and more of a breast of who's telling the truth, okay? And it needs to be categorized for people that are violating court rules or whatever, because again, when you are under oath, okay, and this is something dealing with federal cases, and I've been involved in cases with the VA and the Army and stuff like that. I even had a DOD case. I'll tell you about that probably later, okay, where I've done depositions, actually not in a court, okay, where these people could get charged for perjury, 5 years on a federal case at least, or $15,000 fine, okay, and that's what needs to happen. So I'm here to tell you that woman, Jane Doe, the one that just came out, is a damn liar. We're going to talk about this more later. I got to go and head back to work. All right. So let me know what you think about the video. Consider subscribing. Cash App $, Winston Spivey if you want to donate.